Hey guys, Silver Surfer here. And if you remember, the sideshow armor that got it started for me in collecting these things is the Punisher War Machine armor. And again, this was brought to work by one of my friends. Let's call him Kale. He brings this thing to work, and like I said, this thing, I just fell in love with this thing, and it got me started in collecting all these Hot Toys 6 scale figures. So I finally got around to buying it, and how I got around to buying it is well, it's not just this friend of mine, Kale. I have two other friends, and we're in this group chat, and we keep each other abreast of all current figures, statues, toys, anything that's coming out, anything anime, anything Star Wars, anything Marvel, anything like that. So, anyways, these four friends of mine, or three friends of mine, there's four of us in the group, and at this point we could call them co-conspirators because we all co-conspire to deplete each other's bank accounts. That's what we do. All we do is we tell each other new things that are coming out so we can each buy them, and like I said, just drain our bank account. So this friend of mine, again, Kale, he's the one that got me started in it. And he got it started with this Punisher War Machine armor that I finally got around to buying. So that's what Kale buys. He buys all these hot toys, and he's into GI Joe, Transformers. So he'll drop these things in our group chat to try and get us to buy them. But it's the hot toys that I really latched onto. One of my other friends in this group chat, let's call him, let's see, what should we call him? Let's call him Dale. He's in our group chat also, and he's mainly our Star Wars guy. This guy buys everything Star Wars. He's got the 6 scale figures. He also has this 6 scale Millennium Falcon cockpit that's the envy of for all of us. I mean, we all wish we had this thing. And again, Dale is the one that bought it. In our group chat, he keeps us up to date on anything Star Wars that's coming out. This third friend in our group chat, let's see, what rhymes with Kale and Dale? Probably, well, Gail? No, no, Gail. That's predominantly a girl thing. So this third friend of mine in this group chat, let's just call him Mike. He gets all kinds of hot toys, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Marvel or anything like that. But he's in our group chat also. Anyway, these three friends of mine, and again, we'll call them co-conspirators. But all joking aside, we should all be lucky to have friends like these. But these co-conspirators of ours, like I said, we're always constantly on this group chat. We're constantly showing each other new things that are coming out. And it was Kale in our group chat. He dropped this Iron Man sideshow ad that says the Punisher War Machine armor is $30 off and free shipping. So I see this thing. I go to the site. $30 off and free shipping. That in and of itself is $60. So I saw that, and then I applied some of the reward points I had with Sideshow, and I got in total about $80 off on this thing. So it was a no brainer to me. I had to buy this thing. So here I am. I bought it. And if you guys are wondering, hey, did Sideshow just make this thing up? Did they just take Punisher and War Machine and mash it together? Actually, they didn't. This is something that actually happens in the comics, and it happens in this issue right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is Punisher number 218, and this is a lenticular cover. So it kind of changes. If you can see the angle there, it changes from a Punisher comic to an Iron Man comic. And if they ever show this thing in the MCU, this comic right here is going to skyrocket. That's why I have it graded. That's why I sent it off to CGC to have them seal it like this and to put a grading on it. Because I have a feeling that if this thing ever shows up in the MCU, this comic right here is going to skyrocket. So anyways, I bought this armor, and I wanted to show you guys three other armors in my collection, because I think four is the most I can fit on this little turnstile that I have. So I got this Punisher one. And as you can see here, you can swap out the heads with actually Frank Castle's head there. You can put this Gatling gun on the back. You can see the skull painted on the front of the armor there. And it's got this base with the skull on it, and you can of course swap out the hands, swap out some other parts. You can add these blast effects to it. Overall, it's really a good piece. It's to this day, it's probably my favorite piece that I have in my collection, and it's the one that got it all started for me. Now the other three armors, I have one here. This other armor I have here is the Mark II. Now if you guys remember this silver armor, the Mark II, it's actually from the Iron Man movie that came out in 2008. The very first Iron Man movie, the very first MCU movie. And this thing is also really good. You can see that the flaps, they can all open and close. You can swap out the head to have Robert Downey Jr.'s face in there underneath. You can take off the chest piece. You can see the skeletal structure of the armor underneath. You know, you can see that the on the forearms there, everything opens up. The back flaps open. You can put the missile launchers on the shoulders there. It has some swap out hands, and it's got a pretty nice base to it too. So this is the second armor that I have on my turnstile here. The third armor I wanted to show you guys is the Midas armor. Now this armor, it was originally an Asia Toy Fair exclusive. It came out several years ago. They finally released it here in the United States, and as soon as this thing dropped on Sideshow side, I had to get this thing. You know, again, you've got all the flaps that open up. When you look at it here, it uncovers all these missile batteries that open up. You've also got the base here, and also you've got some swap out hands and some other pieces. But this, it's just a cool looking piece. So I had to get it because the Mark II is all silver, so I wanted to get an armor that was all gold, and that's what this armor is. And the last armor that I have here on my turnstile is the stealth armor. Now this armor is actually the Mark III armor. If you guys remember, the Mark III was actually in the first Iron Man movie also. But instead of being painted gold and hot rod red, this armor is painted in different shades of blue, and it's the stealth version of the Mark III armor. And as you can see with this, you can put the shoulder mounted missiles on there. The flaps open on the back. You can take off the chest piece, see the skeletal structure of the suit underneath. You have all these swap out hands and swap out accessories. On the legs, the flaps open as well, same as on the arms. And you've got this nice base that kind of looks like one of the Neon Tech armor bases, but you know, it's for the stealth armor. So these are the form armors that I have here. Again, I'll drop some videos in the future showing some of the other armors I have. Actually, I only have one other armor actually in my collection. It's the hot rod armor, and like I said, I have 5 on pre-order. So as soon as those start to come in, I'll post a video on those. But I hope you guys like the armors that I have, and as always, from the immortal words of Stan Lee, enough said.